Alright, so I got some Eurobasket action. This is Fiba U16, Lithuania versus Spain. Spain's in the red, obviously. This is the quarterfinals. So let's watch it and let's see what we can get from it. So to start off already, the thing that I'm not a fan of is how people do jump balls. Is because this happens all the time, way too often. So I always do defensive tip. Like, if we win it, we win it. If we don't, we're not going to give up a basket. And defensive tip, like, all it is for me is when I line up my players, like, I'll have another person back here, then I got my two on the outside, and then I got my jump guy in the middle, right? Because in this situation, like, if this plays out right here, even if this guy loses, like these two lose that came from the wing, I got this back guy here to protect it. And so, like, that's the reason that I usually have that, because teams always do this. Like, even in high school level, they always have a guy running out, and then they literally just make that pass across the screen and, like, right over, and then he ends up catching the ball, and it's an easy 2 points like it showed in the video. So I'm a fan of lining it up with the defensive tip. I think that's, like, the best way to avoid, starting off on the wrong foot, because, like, right away they ran this automatic dunk. Like, I don't want to start the game like that. Alright, so right here, my guy gets straight to the basket, and I don't know why no one helped on that situation. Like, the first thing, obviously, is the on-ball defense, right? And, like, if you know you can't defend, like, you don't necessarily want to scoot up. So you can see right here, he's got good enough spacing. Like, he's not going to kill you from out there. So for him to scoot up, I don't know why he did that, because he just, like, created a disadvantage for himself, because the closer he got, like, look, you can look at his feet right here. As soon as he jumps forward, he's out of position, and now he's getting beat off the dribble. So, like, you don't have to scoot that close if you're up there and you really can't defend like that. And then if you're gonna scoot that close, you can't give them the option to go either way. So if you notice, he comes up here, he's not forcing them to go one way or the other, he's just playing them even. So he can just give him a move, do whatever he wants, like shimmy, shake, whatever, crossover, and now he's gone, right? Because you don't know which way he's gonna go. So if you're gonna play close, you gotta at least take away one side a little bit and influence him to one side, so then you know if he's attacking you, you know where he's gonna attack you from. And then if I'm looking at the help defense back here, like, I got my guy right there. I think he's the guy that probably should have helped over. I don't know why he didn't help over. Like, I really don't know why he didn't help over. Like, he got the drive right here, and he's driving right at him. Like, what else do you think he's gonna do? I don't know if he was waiting for his teammate right here to turn around, but for him, I think he's literally just got to step over and guard that, because now he's just standing there. Now he's reaching for the ball, and that's a wide open layup. So defensively, that's a little bit ugly. So people always wonder why I'm not a fan of, like, the turn and run on the pick and roll. So, like, if you watch this pick and roll action going on down here, like this guy, he turns, like, if I go to this guy, he turns this way, and I'm not a fan of that, right? Like, I think you should always reverse pivot, so then you can see the ball and then you always catch it on balance. Like, that's just me personally. I think that I've seen that work 1,000 times in a row. But if you look, right, and they throw this pass, he wasn't ready for the pass, and he wasn't in a position to catch it because he turned his back to the ball. So, like, I don't like the turn and run. I think you should reverse pivot every time, simply because of this. Because if you look at him right here, he's already letting go of the ball, and then just look at his positioning. Like, his positioning is not what it needs to be. Like, he's not ready to catch the ball, he's not ready to do anything. He barely even knows the ball's on the way, right? So it's like, I don't understand why anybody would want to turn and run, because then now the ball comes to him, it's in the air, and he's not in a position to where he can seal and catch it and be on balance. He's, like, having to turn his head and, like, make a miracle catch, which just is not going to happen on this level most of the time, right? And then he ends up dropping it, and it's a turnover. So I think pick and rolls, I think you got to reverse pivot. Like, I think it just works out better in the long run, because you always see the ball, you know when it's coming, and then you're prepared, and then you're on balance and stuff like that, and then you can play out of that. And also, I don't like the argument where people are saying, like, oh, well, it's slower to reverse pivot. I really don't think it's slower. Like, I've watched a billion pick and rolls. I don't think a reverse pivot is any slower than a turn and run. I think a turn and run is actually a little bit slower, because it takes longer to get to the spot you actually want to go to. You know what I mean? So that's just me personally. But let's transition into this next part. And I did a clip on this earlier, but I can break it down even better. Right? They go to this pick action right here, or pick action, just pick and roll again. And now they blitz, right? So if you notice, they blitz, he throws it, turnover right here. But defensively, like, when you blitz, you're taught to have backside help, right? So this is what the offensive player should know. So right here, blitz action happens. You got two on the ball. So his first option automatically is going to be look at the roller right here, right? And so since he's open, he's just going to go ahead and throw that pass, right? So he throws the pass. There he is. He catches it. Now what this guy does wrong when he catches it is he just dribbles right away. So notice he catches it, just goes, doesn't even think about is he going to get collapsed on or anything like that. And so he has to know, okay, they're taught for the backside guy to rotate over and stop this roller, right? And he has to know that. And so once he knows that, he should know, okay, who's going to be my next option when I catch the ball. Like I shouldn't go right away because they blitzed, meaning they're going to have backside help and they're probably going to collapse on me immediately. So his option is this guy in the corner. And I think the guy in the corner, honestly, unless he's like a dead-eye shooter, he probably is. But I think he could have cut right there. Because once this defender leaves, like you got this guy right here, like once he leaves and he goes to help, like he's just opening up all this space right here for himself. Or not for himself, but for the offensive player to come in. And then no one's going to be there. Right? So if I press play, that's exactly how it plays out. Goes right there, wide open space right here. And so I think like offensively, you got to understand what's a counter to the blitz action, right? It's just literally pick up, like when the tagger picks you up, know what your next option is going to be, and then fill the open space. Like I don't mind if he skips it right here, and then this guy ends up like shooting a shot. Like that's okay too. But I think the roller has to know that he's probably not going to score when he gets the ball out of a blitz action. Like that's just usually not going to happen against a good defensive team because they're taught to rotate over. So now they come down again and they run a pick and roll action, but instead of throwing it to the roller this time, now he just hits the guy on the wing, right? And I think like they run some of these actions really, really good, and they're just taught to make these perfect reads all the time. And this is what I wish more players in the USA would go over. Obviously, these are like the top teams overseas, and I think the top teams in the US actually do these things really well also. But I think at a younger level, like this should be automatic, or not even at a younger level, on a lower level, even like lower level high school basketball, like plays like this should be automatic, right? Like when he comes off, here he is, uses the screen, like same thing as last time, right? They block the blitz, so here's his first option, right? And then he knows, okay, this guy's gonna probably help over, which means this guy right here, he's gonna come up. And he's going to be wide open in this spot, right? And that's going to be his second option, which will be right there, right? And so I think like the precision that they ran this with already to begin the game with, like they've already made both reads. He's already hit this guy once. This guy comes up. He's already hit him second, which I thought he's going to come up further, but still works the same for a wide open shot. Like I think that was just textbook basketball, you know, that I would like to see more of from a lot of different levels than the highest levels on earth. I think it's not that hard to run, so there's no reason only, you know, the great teams should be able to do it consistently. So right here they got another pick and roll action, right? And that's just like the heavy action that they run. I think pick and roll is probably the most popular action these days, right? And so what happens is they switch on this one. They didn't necessarily blitz, right? So on a switch, you're taught, okay, the roller is going to be open if they switch, but you also have to look for, number one, is he actually open? Like not just knowing, okay, that's my read, let me throw it no matter what. I think a lot of players do that. Like they're like, okay, I know what my read is. I don't care if I'm not going to analyze it. I'm not going to read the help. I'm just going to throw it because that's what it's supposed to be, right? But in a nuanced situation, you got to see, okay, is he open or not? And the answer is no. And even if this guy doesn't tip it, right, the initial defender right here, he tips it. If I get my tools together. Like this guy right here tips it, but what he didn't also see is even if he doesn't tip that pass and it gets there, this guy's going to steal it, right? And so out of this, what would his first option be? It would just be whoever the guy helped off of, right? So he could look here, attract the defenders, and then skip it to the corner guy, and then that would be a wide open shot. And so like that's something, that's like a progression of reads, is just knowing what the second and third option is. Like, because I shouldn't even said first option. That's the second option in the corner. The first option was the roller, gets taken away. Then there's the second option. And then if you have this guy, let's say he drops down to help, then you got the next option right here, right? So it's, if I go back, it's option 1, it's option 2 in the corner, it's option 3 right here if this guy helps down, right? And so like those are the things. And even it could have been option 1, could honestly, it could be him with the ball. So like it could be him, ball handler, option 1, rollers, option 2, gets taken away. by the help guy down here, right? And then next option 3, then you got this guy. Let's say he slides down to the corner, right? That's where he's going. Let me get a green arrow going. Let's say he goes to the corner. Then that could be option 4. So knowing like what the progression is, and then knowing why you would go to the next option, like that's so important when you're making these reads. And I think that's the thing that the ball handler should have noticed right here, is just knowing, okay, what are my reads, what are my progressions. And this is just these are things that you go over in practice, of just knowing what to look for. So then when he comes off, he knows, okay, let me skip it to the corner, mainly because, you know, this guy didn't drop down but his man left, and so I gotta help right here, and then the gap's over there. So just little things like that, I think you know, you can learn, and just by watching and reading patterns and getting a coach to tell you, like me making this video. So yeah. So here's another thing that kind of drives me nuts, which is guarding the inbound, right? I always say protect middle at all costs, because like every team, and you can't see because of this camera angle, but every team runs actions because they want to get a basket right here. Like they want to do whatever they can to run somebody right here, and now it's this guy. He's going directly into that space, and if you are the defender under the basket, this is your area to protect. You got to protect that area. Like that is your job. And so I think he should be at least a little bit closer to the ball. Like if I'm him, I'm standing probably like right here. Like this is where I'm standing, because he still can't make that pass this direction, right? But then you're also close enough to when this guy gets to the basket, like when he starts to rotate down, or not rotate down, but he starts to cut right here, you're close enough to cut it off for 1, but then you can just stick your hand out and tip the ball for 2, instead of just letting him throw a comfortable, you know, routine pass to the basket. And so like guarding the inbound, I think that needs to be talked about more, and you can't give up anything middle. Like you got to figure out how to protect it and just have them throw everything to the outside and be able to live with that, because those layups are just, if they get those all game, you know you're gonna lose. So this is feeling like a defensive focused film study right now, because that's just the thing that I'm noticing the most, you know, just defensive mistakes. And it's not that the offense isn't doing good. Like I think they're doing a great job, but I think they're, you know, the defense is kind of letting them off the hook in a lot of situations. So if I watch this action right here, and the first thing I notice is like the guy on the ball is a little bit slow-footed, right? And if you're getting screened, like you can scoot up just a little bit to fight over at the last second. So they call it like skinny up, so you don't get screened, right? And all that means is like from this point, once he's committed to using it, which obviously it's hard because like sometimes they'll just reject it, so you don't want to overcommit it. But once he's like starting to commit to this screen, like, and he's starting to go this way, you right here, all you got to do is scoot up a little bit and cut the lane off so he can't go back left. But also it helps you get over the screen, so then you don't get touched, and then you can just continue to play defense. And so I think like that's something that on-ball defenders got to know, is like at the last second, get a little bit closer to the ball handler so then you don't get clipped right here. And then the other thing is, I think this defender right here should probably show just a little bit more, like get over here just slightly, and even if you're not going to fully commit to the help, like fake it. And there's different levels of rotations, right? So like I'll go through the levels of rotations since this is a longer video and I can do that. Let's say he does get to this spot, right? Then what you could do is, if he's going to be open, you have this guy come over and help. Like if he's a good pick and pop shooter, like this defender could come over and help, and then this guy can just stay, like this lowest guy right here, he can just stay and play both. So he'll have to play 1 and 2, you know, while everybody else recovers to themselves. Or they can just switch it. So like if I started over right here, this guy could just come over and guard, and then this guy, like he could just switch onto this man right here and hope that he doesn't roll. Because then if he rolls, like let's say, right, this guy, let's say he rolls down there, this guy right here, I keep saying this guy, like good thing I have this have these tools. He scoots over, takes the roller, and then the ball handler would end up, so it's like 1, 2, then this defender over there would drop up, or drop down to the next guy, and then the guy that gets screened, since he's like in the back of all of the action, then he can rotate over and take his man right here, right? So everybody would just be able to rotate and help each other. And so there's different levels of rotation. Like even, let's go to another level of rotation. Let's say I got my guy down here, like as this starts to progress along, let's play it a little bit further. Let's say if it plays, let's say he helps, right? So instead he helps, and now they're looking at, okay, maybe I got a shooter right here. But what would happen is you got another guy that could drop there, right? And then the guy, one of these two right here, they would have to figure out, okay, which one of us is gonna rotate where, right? So somebody would have to rotate to the shooter. So if I get different arrows right here, somebody would have to rotate this way, and then another one would have to rotate right here. And so like these are just different types of rotations that you can implement, and obviously this is something that you got to go over as a team and figure out, how do you want to rotate, how do you want to play this, do you want to switch, do you want to help way from the bottom and then help the helper from to down to the corner guy, like what type of defense do you want to play? But I think they weren't locked into like what defensive scheme they were trying to get into for this, and then it ends up, you know, in the easiest layup, and then they end up getting an and one because he's late. And so knowing what your defensive scheme is, like, is the big guy going to show? Is the big guy going to switch or not? Are we going over? Like, how do I skinny up so I don't get screened, so then we don't get into a rotation and figure out who does have to help and everybody can kind of stay home? Like, all these kind of things matter defensively. And I think I'm thinking of it, from a scheme and a coach's perspective, but I think every player has to know this as well. So then when stuff like this happens, then you can have some communication and say, okay, this is what we should have done in this situation, or knowing where your teammate's supposed to be or where you're supposed to be, and then you can kind of incorporate all of that knowledge into getting a stop, because that higher level knowledge of where everybody's supposed to be, what the possibilities are, what your game plan is, you know, can the guy pick and pop, how to skinny up, all these different things. Like, this is why it's so hard to play at a super high level, because there's a lot to remember, there's a lot to go over, and like Kevin Durant said, there's a lot of research that goes into being good at basketball, you know, and that's why very few make it, because everything I just broke down, some people don't know that. Like, everybody don't know that. You know, like, they really don't. And so it really does take a lot to be able to not only retain that information, but to apply that information and do it on time and recognize the situation in which you're supposed to apply that information. Like, you have to be extremely sharp to play on an extremely high level and execute a lot of things. So basketball is a lot more smarts than it is skills, and that's why I do these videos. So I hope people that are watching this, I hope you're watching this and you're actually learning something. And I'm doing my best in these things, man. I really am. So for this possession, they go to a little down screen right here, and the ball handler curls in, but he kind of missed his own opportunity right here if you look close enough. Like, he goes, and I think what he thought was the defender was kind of going to stop him. Like, right here, I think what he was doing, he was looking at this defender, and I think he thought that he was going to slide over and make the stop right here, because it did look like if I play it a little bit right here, it looks like he's going to stop him, but I think he faked him out. And so in this situation, instead of just picking up the ball, what you want to do is, like, they call it, like, putting the defender in jail, right? But obviously just keep your dribble alive. Like, you don't have to give it up right away. Just kind of see, because he wasn't, like, the defender wasn't fully committed to you. Like, he wasn't close enough to bother you. And so I think even though he looked right here, like, he could have used that as his own strategy, is to just, like, look in this direction and make this defender bite and think, okay, he's going to throw it to him, but then keep your dribble alive and kind of see what else opens up. But I think he kind of, he noticed that the defender dropped back, like, he just showed and dropped back. And if he keeps his dribble alive, now he has the advantage and he can continue to play or even shoot this shot. Like, if he picks it up right there, he can still shoot that shot at worst case scenario, you know what I mean? But if he keeps his dribble alive, then he can start to move forward, right? And then you got the help guy right here who's going to help in this situation. And then your option is to just kick it out to your teammate and he would have a wide open shot right there. You know, but I think he kind of misread the situation, or he picked the ball too early, and didn't realize, like, the other defender was going to get backed, and now they're all matched up, and they didn't really get what they wanted to out of that possession. So this possession wasn't too bad. I just think at the end, the guy that ended up getting the last pass, I think he wasn't prepared for it. But there's a few things that I like about this possession overall. I think right here, right, they run this, they go to the handoff, and then now they're just playing regular, and then they go to the first pick, right, and now he rolls down to the basket. But what happens is usually, like, it ends up in a mismatch, right? So when the pass gets to the wing, like, most times this guy gets a little bit better position. I think he's just kind of getting outplayed in the post, to be honest. I think the defender that's on him is just kind of bullying him around and not letting him get possession. But what the thing I like is this help defender is kind of like looking over just in case he has to help. And you got the guy that's opposite. He's smart enough to know, okay, if my guy leaves me, let me just enter the space and now I can get the ball. And so that's kind of how that plays out right there. Like as it starts to go through, now he cuts because this guy left him to help, right? And now when he catches the ball, when he caught it, I think he was looking right here and he's like, okay, I got two people on me. Like, let me make the pass to my teammate right there, right? But the defender down here, like he was smart enough, like this guy right here, he was smart enough to just play him. So he faked like he was coming up to help. And then he ended up going back like to his original man. And this guy right here ended up throwing the pass because he didn't realize that guy was kind of fake helping. Like he was just bluffing. He wasn't really going to help. And so notice now he goes back. Now he's deflecting the ball and got his hand on it and kind of stopped the play. He stopped this guy from shooting it in the middle. And then he also stopped the post player. But then also, like, if I'm the post player, I don't know why he just dribbled right there for no reason. Like, there's three people around you. There's no reason to just put the ball on the ground. Like, he's just literally surrounded. So if he's a little bit more patient and just holds it, he has a ton of options right here. He can literally just pass it back, pass it to a shooter right here. Like, I think this guy down here, honestly, I think he should just move over a little bit so he can be seen, so then the pass can come from this direction. So I think the guy in the post just wasn't fully aware. It looks like, I think he just subbed in the game. Like, this dude had no idea what's going on. It's kind of what it looks like. He had like bad post positioning. Caught it, got bullied a little bit. Yeah, so just pick it up right here. Notice you're being surrounded and literally just like kick it out to a shooter. And this guy should just, even though I don't think it's his fault. Like, I think if he does move right here, because if you notice, the guy that's guarding him, he's not even paying attention. He can't really see him. So if he moves right here, he's just going to make that pass. It's going to be a wide open three. So these are just some of the things that I observed on this possession. Overall, a decent possession. I just think the post player that ended up catching it was not prepared for anything at all. And then if I continue it, same guy just runs down court. Like, this is the worst combination that you can have. Like, he wasn't even paying attention for one. Like, if you're the first guy back, okay, this guy's just standing by himself. I don't know what took him so long to throw the pass. I think he just wasn't looking or something like that. But you gotta sprint. Like, you can't just jog and think, okay, yeah, I can just kind of chill and hang out. Like, I turned the ball over. I'm feeling bad for myself. Like, I don't want to look bad. I feel embarrassed, whatever. Like, you gotta forget all that, man. You gotta get back on defense. Like, I don't know what on earth you're doing. And, like, your man just catching it. Now you just call it the Draymond Green special, turnover to a foul. You just don't want to end up in that situation. So now he's looking even worse. I think he's like completely embarrassed. But that's what happens in basketball, man. Like, you turn the ball over, it's like, all right, cool, you turned it over. Now it's like, I gotta sprint and I'm gonna get me a stop down here. He's just lollygagging down court, jogging, thinking everything is sweet. Like, you gotta sprint and stop the basket. And I think transition, just the rules overall, right, is like, basket comes first. So it's not about the ball. Like, the closer the ball gets to the basket, yes, it's about the ball, but when the ball is way out here, it don't matter. He's not going to shoot that. Like, he's not Steph Curry. He's not shooting that. So if you're like any of these guys, like specifically him, your first thought should be protect the basket first. I gotta go back on that. That's crazy. Look, you should be protect the basket first. Because, like, there's no one back here, so there's just all this open space. And then once the ball gets closer, then you can just play it from there. And so I think you got to, like, those are just the principles of basketball that you're taught. I don't know why this thing ain't playing. Yeah, just, like, sprint all the way back, stop basket first. Then everybody, once you stop the basket, then you can match up accordingly. But it kind of has to happen fairly fast. Like, you just want to get back fast enough to where this guy doesn't make that pass. So, like, even if, let's say I'm this guy, right? Let's say I'm all the way over here, and I see that. Like, he's looking right at him. Like, he sees it, and he's like, oh, crap, this guy's wide open. And, like, you can look at his face. He's just looking right at him. He could just get over there a little bit. Like, he could probably stand. Like, if I'm him, I'm probably standing, like, right here-ish and make it look like this is unavailable. So then even if he starts looking across the court, you can play both. Like, you just kind of play in the middle. But don't let this seem like it's wide open, even when it is. Like, you want to make it at least a threat that you're going to intercept it. And then, like, once everybody starts to transition back to defense, then you can all just play normal. Hey, this was a great move right here. Like, if you watch this, he just one quick move straight downhill, avoids the help defense. Like, great awareness. And I think he kind of realized what type of defender's on him. And, like, when people do moves like this, I think a lot of people think it's about the move, right? And it's more about the type of defender that's on you, because most moves work, but most moves aren't going to work on everybody. You have to figure out what move works on who, right? And so I think he kind of got a read on what type of defender was on him, and he's like, okay, he can't guard me if I shift him one time. And so he didn't even have to think. He just knew. He could just tell, like, by his instinct that, okay, if I shift one time, he's going for it, and then I could just go straight. And then once he goes straight, he sees the defender coming over and just avoids him, like, super clean, goes directly past him. And so I think, like, why isn't this playing? There we go. Yeah, it just slides right past him. And the thing about defense, right, is I hate, like, the thing that bugs me the most is just stand straight up with your arms in the air. Like, you ain't sliding, you ain't doing nothing. Like, you just standing there like a brick wall. Like, anybody's gonna go past you when you just stand there like this. So I think if you're in help defense, you don't want to be flat-footed and just stand there with your arms up. Like, I don't know why coaches teach that, but you want to remain mobile. Like, that's like more important than anything. I don't know why this whiteboard came up. That's more important than anything, is just staying mobile. So then when they do Euro, you at least have a chance to slide and get over it. Like, you don't want to just stand there and it's like, okay, if he hits me, he hits me. If he don't, then it's a free bucket. And I'm not totally mad at it, because I think, like, most players aren't avoiding that charge in that situation. And so he's probably expecting to, like, get ran into. But at least you want to have a feel for both. Like, you want to feel like, okay, I can take a charge, but if I have to move, I can move. You never want to be stuck in one option. And so I think that's the thing that bugs me the most, is not necessarily that he got beat on that play, but a lot of players just stand there and they commit to standing there, and they're like, no matter what, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to move, or no matter what. And it's like, bro, you could move and, like, make a play on the ball, or make a stop or something. Maybe not in a scenario like this, but just the mindset it should be shifted to where you have the option to do one or the other, not just commit to one and then the other one's just kind of, not an option. I really like this attack right here, and he played by the philosophy that I always tell players, is like, don't think about the move so much, right? And it's like a lot of players, they go left, right. They don't really get anywhere. They don't force the defense to actually stop them. And I think once you get in the mindset of, like, okay, I'm gonna force the defense to stop me, and then I'm gonna counter if they do, you'll be a lot more effective than trying to come up with all these different moves. So, like, him right here, he just drives as hard as he can to his left. The defender stops him, and literally just stops and changes directions. Like, doesn't do anything special beyond that. And I think a lot more players can be more effective if they take that mindset of just like, okay, I'm gonna go super hard one way and then force them to stop me, and I'm countering off that. Like, that's like the best way you can attack and get downhill. And then once you do that consistently, then you'll start to figure out different ways to adapt and different moves to do and different things like that. But I think it starts with that initial mindset of, I'm going directly downhill with a quick move, and if he stops me, I'm countering and I'm going the other way. Like, once that's your baseline of playing, then other things will start to come into play. Then you'll realize, okay, I can do this instead. I can do that instead. I can fake like I'm going to go downhill left and go right now. And then everything's based off going downhill one way. Like, that's like the base of your game. Like, the same way, like, you play off a catch and shoot, where just catching and shooting is the base of your game, and then you can pump fake off of that, you can jab stuff off of that, different things like that. This is like the exact same thing. Is like, okay, I'm going straight downhill one way, stop it, I'm countering, and then that's the base of my game. And then next time it's like, now I can fake, because now if he fakes this and he crosses over, right, let's say he beats him on this one, and then the next time you're around he fakes it left and crosses over. Now the defender has no idea what he's going to do, because he's gone downhill on you twice, and then it's like, oh crap, I don't want him to go downhill, so now I'm going to overreact to the downhill move. Now he's crossing me over. It's like, that's really how offensive played, and I think he did a good job of just keeping it super basic, and it just got him right to the basket. You can't ask for more than that right there. And then here he is again, like, playing off the basic philosophy. Can I go straight or not? Like, once, I swear, if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out, like, how to attack and how to just get somewhere on the court and just go to the basket, only think about where is your best option to go straight. Like, this dude gets the handoff, right? And this defender pops out just, like, barely too high. Like, he barely gets too high. And all it does is it opens up a gap for him to just go straight. Like, that's all you're looking for, is how do I go straight in every situation. Like, once you start to do that, then like the whole entire game will open up for you, I'm telling you. Because now that he's getting downhill, like, as you can see, this guy helps over, which I think he probably could have finished that, and then he has his option right here in the corner. And so, but it's all based on, can I go straight or not? Like, it's really that simple. And I think he lost his balance. That's probably why he passed it. But man, this ended up in a horrific air ball. But I like how number 10's, or not number 10, number 11's playing right here. Like, he's just being super simple, getting the spots, drawing two people or finishing. Super effective basketball. Is always going to beat, all the dribble tween nonsense every day of the week, promise you. Now, if you remember earlier, we were looking at this screen and roll action on the blitz, right? I don't know if this is the same person or not. I don't remember the number. But last time he caught it, whoever that was, and just went directly into help. Because remember, this opposite guy helps, and then he has his option down here in the corner. But what happened for that one, like for this guy, is all he did was observe. He's like, okay, I'm just in open space. All I'm going to do is just take the shot that they're giving me. So if they're just going to give me this shot right here, I'm just going to take it because they're not overly committed. But I also think, I don't know if they got a timeout yet or not. It's only the first quarter. So this game it seems like forever because I'm doing film on it. But again, I'd still make this adjustment of just knowing, okay, no one's been back here as of late. So let me cut right there. Because then even if he does miss that shot, because he made it on this one, but even if he does miss that shot, like there's a rebounder there and he can kind of get positioned. He can fight this guy for it. And so I think this was a way better read by the offensive guy. And the defensive guy, him right here, he did hustle back to that spot. So I think he probably would have been late still because that pass would have been just way too quick. But he was trying to get himself in the right position. But either way, I think the offense just executed this way too good, and then he ended up just making the jump shot. So I think that was a nice adjustment rather than just rolling into the defense and almost turning it over.